YouTube. I can't get away from it. It was like that in the gorge, you know, and my last video, and now I'm up here in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and they've got the FIFA World Cup going on up here, and it's just mad. It's madness, and I'm not appreciating it very much, especially because I had to get up for 1 a.m. to make my delivery. Wow, not so much to make my delivery, but to beat this congestion due to the World Cup. And you know, it's been a pretty like steady, very busy 3 weeks since I've been back to work, and you know, you just get to the point where it's like, okay, enough is enough. And I can feel myself getting a little bit more irritated because, like, even today when I'm delivering, they had 4 trucks delivering the same crap coming out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, which is just concrete poured into metal casts about 5 feet long for removable fencing for the World Cup. So they screw the fencing onto these things, and they weigh about, I don't know, 1,000 pounds each, so the wind and people and whatever can't move them, right? They're just very solidly, but it doesn't have the fencing on it, it's just the bases for the fencing. And so they ordered a bunch of this out of Kings Mountain, North Carolina, direct deliver, ASAP, you know, crowd control and whatnot. So I came up here to do that. But, you know, there I am. I'm waiting. I'm one of 4 trucks to be, I was a 3rd truck. And then the 2nd truck there, you know, there's 1 spot to get unloaded. And, you know, I'm all ready to go. I got the kit open. I got the, you know, I've got the chains off. Everything's ready to go. And, you know, I can't figure out why this dude won't move out of the way after he's done getting unloaded. The receiver, he's like, I'm like, you want me there? And he's like, I'd love you to be there, but the driver's not in the truck. Okay, whatever. I mean, maybe whatever. I don't know where he went or what he had to do. But he comes back after about 10 minutes, and he's just sauntering, like not a care in the world. Like, I think he might even been whistling or, you know, doing a Rubik's Cube. I don't know. Maybe it was a magic trick. I can't be certain. But no sense of urgency at all. Then the prick gets up onto his trailer and starts kicking stones off the deck. Like, you can't move up and do that. So I said, to hell with this. I pulled right up next to him there, and I says, is everything all right? And he said in broken English, yeah. I said, well, it's not really. I said, what are you doing? And he goes, what? And I said, get the fuck out of the way. What are you, fucking retarded? I said, people are trying to get fucking unloaded here. And he's like, oh, I didn't know. I said, you didn't know? So anyways, I pulled up, and he got the hint right away, right? Like, come on, don't be fucking, you know, like, just have a little bit of fucking courtesy, you know what I mean? And but that's what it is out here, right? Like, that's what it is out here. There's zero courtesy, zero concern or regard for anybody else. And that's unfortunate, right? But every once in a while, you got to give them the what for. Because, you know, if we all just sit around and let this shit go on, then, you know, next thing you know, what we're going to have is chaos, right? They're going to think that it's okay. You know, it's okay. And maybe I shouldn't have been so abrupt and rude. I mean, it wasn't like I was in a big rush. I mean, you guys know I get paid by the hour and all that. But I just thought it was just very inconsiderate. Not just to me, but the receiver too. And the driver that was behind me. There's 4 trucks. I was the 3rd one. Like, you go kick the stones off go clean the fucking deck of your trailer. Pull up and get out of the fucking way. You know what I mean? But that's just kind of like, you know, I can tell when I get short, right? Like, I'm getting old, and my patience, I don't have very much fucking patience, right? So, but yeah, now I wanted to talk about the other reason I want to. I hope everyone's having a great day, by the way, right? Don't let my crappy attitude. I apologize about the negativity first thing. But hey, you know what? Sometimes it's just about reality too. And that's the reality of my day today, right? It's not to mention about the driver that was going north on 79 through the construction there, and the what's the name of that company there, that Russian company, Super Ego, and he's literally doing chicken with me in through the construction zone, you know, like going in and out of my lane, like, what is going on with these people? I don't understand it, right? I don't understand it. Anyways, I can't really get into too much detail about what took place after that, right? You don't want to incriminate yourself. But anyways, needless to say, he wasn't going to be doing that to anyone else yesterday. What I wanted to make a video about was actually, I come across his channel, 360 subs, brand new channel, 50-year-old Marine vet, decides he wants to be a truck driver. So he signs up, this is short story, long story short. So he signs up for TMC. He's going to get his license through TMC. And they're going to train him, flatbed, do your training, get your license, yada yada, you know the drill, right? And so he does all that. He's making videos all along the way, and within a very short amount of time, he's got like over 300 subs, and he goes from training to he's in his own truck. First week he's in his own truck, they send him to MENARDS, right? Building material. And he makes a video about how incompetent MENARDS is, how disorganized, how they didn't know how to load the truck, how the wait time of it, like the whole ball of wax, made the whole video, right? Well, unbeknownst to me, I didn't realize that a channel that small would get such great attention. Excuse me for a second. My mouth is so fucking dry. That ever happened to you when you're tired? I can't seem to drink enough fluid right now. Anyway, it wasn't because I was drinking beer on my 10 off. I only took 8 off anyway last night because I'm split sleeper. In Canada, you only need 8 hours off. So I thought, let's get 2 birds stoned at one time and do an 8-hour off, go up the road. I only had about 60 miles. No, what did I have? 80 miles to cross the border into Canada. And so at that point, I'm legal, right? I don't know. You tell me in the comment section, did I do good or did I do not good? I don't know. But I wanted to beat the traffic, right, this morning with all the FIFA. Here, hang on, watch this. How you making out? How are you making out over here? Look at this traffic. Anyway, this is at friggin' 10 o'clock in the morning. 10 o'clock in the morning, bumper to bumper. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lanes of traffic on each side. That's 14 lanes of traffic, one going east, one going west. They call it the 400 series highway. And going into Toronto is, good luck with it. I think like 60 miles, you could probably do that in 3 hours. Anyway, I want to get back to this MENARDS, this driver, right? Stick with me. he makes a video about how bad Menards is, and next thing you know, 300 subs, and next thing you know, he says TMC's getting a call. Menards is calling TMC saying one of your drivers made a video, a disparaging video about our company, and we don't appreciate it. And TMC got a hold of this driver and said, hey, we got a problem. You made a video about Menards, and they don't like it, and they want to trespass you from their property. And according to TMC policy, if you get trespassed from one of the customer's property, if you're not able to go there, that's grounds for termination. Yeah. In other words, if we can't dispatch you to any one of our customers, that we got no use for you. And I mean, I don't necessarily agree with that. I can see why the policy would be put in place. They want their drivers to be on their best behavior, especially with a big account like Menards, and I see TMC. I've seen TMC at Home Depot and whatnot too, right? Like, they got trucks there permanent. They do all they even do the shunting and whatnot for these big corporations. Anyway, it's probably a large chunk of their business, if not majority part of their business. Well, friggin', instead of this driver saying, okay, so then they say, listen, what you need to do, well, he goes, but we're not gonna, we're gonna give you an opportunity to delete the video, and you need to write an apology letter to Menards, and we will consider not terminating you. And he gives it some thought, and of course, he's a Marine vet, so he basically fought for our freedom of speech, right? Basically went to war, was in the military and fought for our rights. And here's this company telling him, no, you got to shut your fucking mouth. And not only that, but you got to take that video down, and then you got to fucking eat crow too for Menards, right? Fucking Menards, And so after some thought, he agrees to put the video private. Doesn't delete the video, but he makes it private, and he writes out a letter to Menards. Goes through, that was in his first week, goes through the next week, and they're jerking him off, right? They're jerking him around, I should say. Jerking him off would be good. They're jerking him around, and the way he puts it is he's not getting that many miles, and they promise you $1,000 take home, while you're in your first whatever months there for the company. So he was taking home $800, and then they bump him up, give him the extra $200. So he was making his $1,000 a week. What else was he saying? Oh yeah, he wasn't getting home. He's supposed to get home every weekend. Apparently that's something that they do there, and which sounds pretty nice. And but he couldn't get him home, and so now he's looking at it retrospectively, because fast forward to week 3, stay with me here. Fast forward to week 3, they route him to a terminal. And they say, hey, you're due for some maintenance on your truck. Route you to the terminal for some maintenance. We all know that fucking trick, right? Well, this poor bastard, he don't know that trick. He don't know the route you to the terminal for some maintenance on your truck on Friday, route you to the terminal. Well, all of a sudden, he gets a call saying the operations manager wants to talk to you. So he goes into the terminal. The operation manager pulls him in the office and puts him on a 3-way call with his operations manager from wherever he's from. So now he's on a 3-way with 2 operations manager, and they say, hey, so about this channel of yours, we noticed Menards, by the way, Menards isn't going to accept your apology. They're not happy. They don't want you on their property. And we also noticed a couple other things on your channel that we wanted to inquire about. And when it all shakes out, I personally think that they called them in and they wanted to say, listen, we've invested, like they're thinking to themselves, it costs money to fucking, you know, they're making an investment in a driver, right? And so they don't want to just like throw you to the wind, because that's a loss, right? But they also don't want to deal with this bullshit about this fucking YouTube, right? That's why I will never put where I fucking drive, right? I'll never put where I work. I'll never fucking put what customer I'm at, because companies don't want to deal with YouTube, right? And that's why, that's a big reason why my channel will never grow, because people are like, we don't even know where the fuck you work. We can't really invest in your channel when you won't be transparent. And I get it, right? I get it, but that's not, it's just not, it just doesn't, like, I would never make, like, it would never be worth it for me to put that risk out there, right? Like, it's just not. And I know there's other drivers that do, but that's just my take on it, right? Anyway, I think if he would have went into that and they said, hey, what about this video? What about that video? And if he would have said, listen, you know what? Like, if it's going to be a big problem for this fucking YouTube, you know, he's 50 years old, all right? Keep that in mind. If it's going to be, my social media is going to be a big problem, like, you know what, I'll just take my fucking channel down. I just, you know, I'm interested in working. This is just something fun I was doing. My opinion is they would have said, great, let's do that. Let's move forward, clean slate, and fucking Bob's your uncle. But when they were asking him about his channel and da-da-da, and he basically was, no, I wouldn't say being argumentative, but he was just like, you know, so what you're saying is you don't want me to say certain things, and you don't want me to respond to certain comments, and you don't want me to do this, and then they said, okay, we understand. All right, well, we'll talk to you later, right? And he left the meeting, and then a couple hours later, they called him back in and said, yeah, we decided we're gonna fucking part ways with you, right? Like, we don't got time for this shit. Right? We don't got time to have to fucking talk. We got enough shit to deal with. We don't need calls from Menards talking about your drivers making fucking content, calling us fucking incompetent, fucking unorganized, and whatever else he said on the video. No one will know now, because it's fucking, unless he reposts it. And like, you know, I get it, right? Like, I get it. And long story short is, the channel is called, fuck me, what is the channel called? Oh, I'm sure if you Google, just YouTube TMC fired me, TMC fired me, something like that, it'll come right up. You know, and you know, it seems like a fine individual. Doesn't seem like, you know, like a dummy or nothing. But I just think, like, at some point you have to decide, well, is this worth it? Like, you know, I mean, what am I trying to do here? Am I trying to do a YouTube channel, or am I trying to do trucking? You know, I think you can do both, but not in that way, right? Because, and like I said, I was really surprised. 300 subs, and ring, ring, ring. This is Menards. You got a driver making a fucking, you know, that kind of caught me off guard a little bit, right? I mean, I don't doubt it. I'm not calling him a liar. I'm just saying, like, you know, and that, it was within like a couple days, wasn't he? Or the next day or some shit, he said. So, like, Menards has fucking got social media team, obviously, right? And Menards is like fucking Johnny on the spot. You know, like, fuck, like I said, it's not like the guy's got some fucking huge following or whatever. And I think if I was Menards, you know, I'd say, like, okay, that kind of sucks, but maybe there's something to learn from it. And then also, I think if they make it a big deal, well, all of a sudden now this 300 person channel that got maybe fucking 100 views on the fucking on the video, if we make a bigger deal about it, gives him more content. I don't know. What do you guys think? You let me know. Is it true? Did Menards fucking contact TMC from a channel, that a brand new channel that got a couple hundred views on a fucking video? You think? I don't know, guys. I don't know if this is a tactic for him to try to build his channel up. Like I say, I'm not calling the guy a liar. I'm not. I'm just saying, like, maybe he's fucking smart and he's like, wow, Menards and now TMC and rah, rah, rah. I don't know. Kind of crazy, though, if you ask me. I was very, it sucked me in, right? I was like, huh? So, anyway, 21 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed the video of me talking about a guy making another video. I'm going to try and get the fuck out of World Cup territory here. And we'll make another video before the end of the week. I got something to do tomorrow. I'm going to hit the house, do some laundry, take a shower, you know, pack up some shit, and then probably be back on the road this weekend. Nothing going on this weekend anyway, right? What is it, the weekend of the 20th? We'll just go back to work, right? And see what we can do. So anyways, you guys have a great day. Take care. We'll catch you on the next video. Cut the string on this video and let it fly. Driver's Lounge over. Ow.